If you've been worrying about market crashes lately, you're not alone. It seems like every other week there's a new headline warning that this time is different. And if you're nearing retirement, those headlines can be hard to ignore. Today, I want to talk about why market crashes are far more common than most people realize, how trying to avoid them can likely be more damaging, and what steps you can take to ensure they don't derail your retirement plans. Hi, I'm Nick Morrison, a CFP professional, helping you get the most out of your retirement. And today I want to share insights and data to help you make more informed decisions when thinking about the market. All right, let's get into it. Watching your savings go down during a crash will never be enjoyable, but I believe there's things you need to understand about how market pullbacks have worked historically and what follows. Throughout this video, I will be referencing the market. Each time I do, I'm referring to the S&P 500. And since 1928, the market has earned an average annualized return of 10.5%. That means your money is doubling roughly every 6.8 years. And since 2009, it has returned roughly 15%, doubling your money every 4.8 years. Another eye-opening statistic is that over this time frame, measured on an annual basis, the market's been positive roughly 74% of the time. So essentially 3 out of every 4 years, the market is up, making it a powerful wealth creation tool. And for many, growing funds in retirement is a necessity. It's a great way to make sure your money lasts and you're able to maintain your desired lifestyle. As impressive as these stats are, it's been far from a smooth ride. There have been plenty of sharp declines and moments that have tested investors' patience and discipline. The Great Depression, 2 world wars, 9/11, dot-com crash, the housing crash, just to name a few. In fact, most years aren't average. When the market's up, the average return has been 21.5%, but in down years, the market has lost on average 13.5%. Looking back over the last 50 years, we can see just how common these drops are. So we can see a drop of at least 5% happening about twice a year. 10% or more happening every year and a half or so, a 15% drop occurring roughly every 3 years, and a 20% drop or more occurring roughly every 6 years. I was surprised when I first saw how common these drops were. Because we have a tendency to anchor, even when we're making progress, it doesn't always feel that way. Imagine you have $1 million saved. In the first year, you make 13%. In the second year, you make 11%, but in the third year, you lose 15%. Over that whole time frame, you would have made $66,000, but in year 3, you would have lost $188,000. So again, even though you're making progress, it can be easy to fixate on that loss. This period included many moments where it seemed like things were going to get much worse, only to have the markets recover and perform quite nicely. Remember back to 2020 during COVID, the market went down significantly and finished the year quite strong. Or more recently in 2025, when the market sold off as much as 19% off the highs in February over tariff concerns. Imagine having $1 million portfolio and losing $190,000 in roughly a 2-month period. It's natural to grow concern during these periods, and the news cycle only amplifies those emotions. It's natural because you're human, but there's also often compelling reasons why it could get worse. So on one side, the markets offered strong, compelling returns along with frequent drops. So you might think to yourself, I don't need to stay out of the market forever. Why don't I simply sell my investments, wait for the coast to clear, and then get back in? But let me highlight a few reasons why that might set you back farther than you think. Not only have we seen markets tend to deliver strong returns even with significant drops along the way, but recoveries can happen much faster than you anticipate. For example, in a study done by JP Morgan, missing just the 10 best days from 2003 to 2024 would see growth on $100,000 cut to $297,708 instead of it growing to $648,844 for staying invested the whole time. Instead of selling when the market is down, consider having a mix you can stick with through good and bad markets. Consider having a war chest comprised of things like cash, high yield savings account, money market funds, high quality bonds, things you can access and typically don't lose value in a decline. This helps to limit losses and avoid having to sell high growth investments at a discount. Consider having 2 to 5 years worth of income. Although some market declines, as we've seen, can recover quite quickly, the longer, nastier declines take longer to recover. So let's say, for example, your income need was $100,000, but you anticipated collecting $40,000 from Social Security. Your gap would be $60,000. You would multiply 60 times the number of years worth of income you'd want to set aside. The idea with this approach is to be able to survive a significant downturn without having to rely on timing. Consider taking steps to rebalance and maintain your targets. After the storm passes, if you've realized you're taking on too much risk, make changes after the fact, but understand that this is likely going to limit growth in the long run. Consider tax planning considerations like a Roth conversion or tax loss harvesting. Although Roth conversions have to make sense on their own based on your personal circumstances, when they do, doing a Roth conversion prior to a market recovery is like getting a big discount on your tax bill. Tax loss harvesting, when you sell an investment at a loss and buy something else, can generate tax savings even if they need to be applied in future years. Although timing can be difficult given the unpredictable nature of the markets, the longer your time frame, the better your odds of success. Even if you're living off your portfolio, you aren't spending all of it each year. This is where creating a war chest based on income need over a period of time can help, because as we see the time frame increases, so does your odds. The bottom line is you need a portfolio you can hold, one that creates as little financial stress as possible. If you're interested in learning more about our process at Morrison Wealth, click on the link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.